was born here, and in 1962, during the, who knows what happened in 1962? Anyone? Who said it? Cuban Missile Crisis. My mum said to my dad, I don't want to live in New York, so I was dragged off to Australia, which is why I talk like this. I think 2 years in New York is enough to make me a New Yorker. I certainly feel like a New Yorker. David's nodding his head, so thank you. We deeply believe in New York. We deeply believe in the people in New York, the Times Square billboards, Wall Street, fashion, art. That's everything that we dream about with NFTs. So this is the perfect city for us to be NFT.NYC. And Cam and I were talking in 2018, and we said, oh, okay, how do we spread the word about what we do? We didn't even know what we did was NFT, but we had to go and Cameron registered the domain name NFT.NYC, and that was the beginning of this. And sitting in the audience here, we have David Pakman, who is one of my favorite people in the whole world. We were just talking about the ups and downs of this market, and David said, look, it doesn't really matter whether it's up and down, it's really what we believe in is in the technology. So you're going to hear from David shortly, and I'm going to take you through a little bit about what to expect at our event in April. It'll be our 6th event, and I'm going to talk a little bit about how we use NFTs to power up our event and some of the brands that are out there in this space now. So when we were dreaming about what we would do with NFTs, we said, let's use NFTs to give the community a voice. Where's Peter Boards? Peter, where are you? I want to embarrass Peter. Peter, can you stand up for a moment, please? Peter is sort of the godfather of all the things that we did with NFTs and events. Peter said to us in 2018, could you please power up the consensus event with NFTs? So we created NFT swag for Peter, and he believed in us back in 2018. And Peter now runs a very big event called Masari. It's called Mainnet, isn't it, Peter? Mainnet. So thank you for giving. Thank you, Peter, for giving us. What was that? What was that?
I said this September.
Yeah, this September. And what we believe in is we want to put the community, with the people who have great ideas on stage, and we want to use NFTs to create connections between people. So those of you who are coming to our event in April, you're going to learn about all the things that NFTs can do to create engagement and collaboration. That is our theme. All my life I have been thinking about how do we use technology to bring out that generous, talking, communicative side of human beings that can, you know, as a human being, we all know we can be selfish. I like to use technology to see how we can bring things together. We're going to talk to you about some of that. Proselytizing to a broader community. This event gives me goosebumps. If you had said to Cameron and I in 2018, one day you will be talking at NASDAQ, and at NASDAQ will be embracing NFT technology, I would have thought this is mission impossible. We're at this point now. We had a dinner last night with 32 brands at Morton's, eating delicious steak and that yummy spinach that they have. And every brand stood up and told us what they were doing with NFTs, and it was just inspiring. Some of you were here already, I think. Who was at Morton's last night? Okay, excellent. John. Oh yes, Jane. Jane, can you stand up for just a moment? Jane, you also, Jane King, I would say, is the most knowledgeable, coolest global commentator on the NFT space. She gets up at 2 a.m. every morning to do the news, and she came to dinner with us last night and didn't leave till 10, so you've had about 2 hours sleep. And then the last thing, of course, that we believe in, our fourth value, is let's create engagement with NFTs. So all of you are going to get an NFT, right?
That's right. So if you guys have seen on the pillars around the building, there's this NFT that we're showing up today. We're calling it the NASDAQ NFT.NYC Pass. Noah, who's on our team, is sitting right here with one of these pins on his shirt, actually created the artwork. Thank you, Noah. But this is really an example of creating a proof of attendance token that everyone here in the room can get today. But we're going to show you how we can continue to deliver benefits to all of you who hold that token. So like Jodee said, show you who the community was that was actually here in the room. So if there was someone that you bumped into, but you forgot their name, maybe you can reconnect. Or deliver you, the VIP upgrade to NFT.NYC in April, maybe some other things along the way.
Actually, she reminded me, Layla, can you say hi to everyone? Layla, can you Layla, stand up, come on, Layla, stand up and say hi. Layla is from Business Insider, and Layla got the award last night for Quote of the Night, which was something like, once you issue an NFT as a brand, it was you're liable to nurture, look after, or engage with that NFT for the rest of its life. Like, NFTs don't die. NFTs stay in people's wallets. And so we're going to give you an NFT today, and hopefully we can look after, thank you, we can look after. And the other part of it, where's Noah? Noah on our team. So Noah is one of our product managers, he works for CAM. Noah is figuring out how we can use NFTs to create common interest. So one of the things that I like to do, I like to ride bicycles, and if I have a bicycle NFT, then those of you who also own bicycle NFTs feel some relationship with me. I used to talk about crispy bacon. I love crispy bacon, right? And we created a bacon and eggs NFT. So if you own the crispy bacon NFT and the egg NFT, then you get something special as a result. All of those things are possible for NFTs. Okay, this is what's happened to us over the last few years. You probably can't see this. No one cared about us. No one cared about us. The world woke up. The world woke up. 6,000 people at Times Square, and then last year was crazy. Who was at the last year event? Okay, it was a bit crazy, wasn't it? And all of you said we should try and centralise it. So this year we're at North Javits. This year's been a roller coaster, all the way down. You've seen that, and we are seeing attendance this year around here. There'll be about 8,000 people at NFT.NYC in April, which David and I were talking about. We think it's a really good result. Oh, Cameron reminded me, you see Word of the Year? One of the things that I'm going to take credit for all my life is that I was able to get the Collins Dictionary people, along with Cameron, to put a new word in the dictionary. What do you think that new word was? Yes! The Collins, a week after our 2021 event, the Collins Dictionary said that they were putting NFT in the dictionary, and it was Word of the Year. How fun is that? 1,500 speakers, and 46 countries, and this year we have 16 different tracks.
Nico is actually in the audience, who was in the middle of that picture. If you go back one, Jodee. Yeah. Speaking into the microphone. Thank you.
Oh, excellent. You're famous. What absolutely knocked us over is we have not spent $1 on marketing ever, and it's all community and tweets. We had 200,000 tweets last year, and this is my favorite one, which was cool. Should I change my life and go to NFT.NYC or stay home and do nothing?
This next one, thank you to Jessica. Jessica, where are you? Thank you, Jessica from Coinbase. Coinbase was a big partner for NFT.NYC last year, and we love that they said that NFT.NYC was the Super Bowl for NFTs for a few reasons. One, because the Super Bowl is a very big event, and that's we're very proud of that. But two, I think that, you know, in relation to this group, the Super Bowl is so important and significant for brands. And so to see that brands sort of rally together around an event, and for someone to recognize that around NFT.NYC was really important for us, because it showed that we were achieving what we wanted to.
And thank you to all the brands. So the theme this year is brands are getting behind NFTs. I am not a speculator, I'm not a gambler. People have said to me, oh, you know, what are your tips for NFTs? And I've always looked at my shoes and felt very sad that I don't have any tips for people. We don't speculate, we believe in the utility of NFTs. We're now seeing so many brands come into the space. And that's what Cam's going to talk about now, some of the brands, and then we're going to hand over to David Pakman.
Thanks, Jodee. So in 2019, at our first NFT.NYC, we didn't really have tracks. We had one stage throughout the whole day, and we did sort of group and label and tag people's talks. And one of the categories that we actually called, one of the most prolific categories at that time was, of course, art, collectibles. Gaming was just sort of starting, but everything else we sort of threw into this category that we called wild and crazy use cases. And so we had some people talking about, you know, hypothetically how brands might use NFTs in the future, and a lot of it was all very new and sort of very utopian. And since that time, we're so proud to be able to say that we've been a part of some projects, and we've been able to support some projects, and we've just been able to witness brands actually do all these really interesting things with NFTs, but it's still very early days. So, one of the ones that I really like is Renee from Coach, who couldn't be here today because she's actually having surgery, unfortunately. But Coach actually has done a few different campaigns with NFTs, really experimenting with how they could build loyalty and reward their existing community. That's been really exciting to see, because it's been not only a way of sort of the utopian kind of idea of saying that an NFT is a loyalty program, but using NFTs to support their existing strategy. And so they actually token gated the ability to get an NFT to members of their loyalty program.
So what did the Coach NFT actually do?
It gave them access to a party that was at their Fifth Avenue store during NFT.NYC, which is quite cool. Nicole from SAP is in the audience tonight.
Where's Nicole? Say hi to everyone, Nicole.
She and I will go through this in a bit more detail later, but this was really exciting. Nicole works in a part of SAP called Success Factors, and they won an award. And Nicole said, how are we going to share this award with everyone on the team that helped us win it? She did not want the award to sit on someone's desk gathering dust. She wanted to be able to share that achievement with the entire group of employees. And so we'll talk a little bit more about that later. Nicole, there's a nice quote for you. I think this is really cool too. So people were just excited to see that SAP is such a big company who's actually engaging with NFTs. And I think we're still at that stage, that there's a lot of brands or institutions in this audience even that are at that point of dipping their toe in the water. Experimenting exactly. And so hopefully we'll be able to share some different ideas from people that can help them proceed. PwC, Matt is also going to tell us a little bit about what PwC is doing.
Matt. Yeah, there you go.
Matt at NFT.NYC last year talked about how they were using NFTs to help educate traditional finance about what digital assets really are. And he has a great story about an in-person event that they held in Miami, in Florida last year, where they actually got 50 CEOs from big organizations to actually get their first NFT and show them how it worked. So we thought that was a really great story to share as well. And then this is really exciting for us too. Major sports, we all know about collectibles, we all know about baseball cards, football cards. We know that sports fans like to collect and create identity with the teams that they're interested in. And this is something that's sort of an extension of that, but what we saw was that the NFL, who have spent, I think, about a year or 18 months on their NFT strategy, delivering NFTs to fans of teams or attendees of games, they actually reported that they've seen an increase in their email open rates from 20% to 60% every time they mention NFTs. And I think that's really interesting, is not relying on NFTs as being this digital collectible or whatever the NFT actually does, but how the NFT can actually support their existing strategy as well. As we mentioned earlier, today we're going to be using this NFT to celebrate your attendance and participation in today's event. And something that we'll talk about with Nicole too is a really fun thing that we're doing with LinkedIn certifications. So you'll actually be able to use this NFT to add a verifiable credential to your LinkedIn profile that says that you attended this workshop.
That's right, so your boss can now assume that you're an expert on NFTs because you've attended this event.
Yes, and he can expense your lunch. My clicker's not working. There we go. Some of you may have seen that last week we released something that we're calling the NFT.NYC 2023 Pass. This is really an experiment for us, is to show how we can continue to deliver value to the NFT.NYC community. And so basically we've got two types of passes. One is for VIP and one is for GA. And not only do you get a ticket to NFT.NYC, but you could also get a VIP upgrade or a bonus ticket to bring a friend, or a piece of exclusive merch from our partners and from NFT.NYC. And this is, like I was saying before, another way that we're going to use NFTs to deliver ongoing benefits to our community.
Just to pause you there for one moment, most of us have heard about ChatGPT, which I find annoying in one sense and sort of really fun in another. So I thought I would torture ChatGPT on Saturday, and I said, please tell me about all the different types of NFTs. And I got a beautiful one-pager which summarized 7 types of NFTs, and I thought, how up to date is ChatGPT? And they actually said there are dynamic NFTs, generative NFTs, this is an example of a dynamic NFT, because depending on the other NFTs you'll have in your wallet for NFT.NYC, this NFT gains more power and gives you more access. So NFTs can look at the environment around them and actually create more access and privileges. That really excites me. And ChatGPT got it right.
Talking about dynamic NFTs, this year we're also doing a digital twin NFT ticket. So we talked about this a little bit at dinner last night, but we built an integration on top of Eventbrite that will deliver every registered attendee at NFT.NYC an NFT ticket. So for people that are new to this, they can just use Eventbrite the way that they always have, and they'll be able to then sort of start their NFT journey with a ticket that they can actually use to scan and check into NFT.NYC. But to that point about it being dynamic, the ticket NFT will actually evolve over time. So depending on whether the event's coming up, it might unwrap and reveal which artwork is on your ticket from one of our community of artists. And maybe after you check in, it will evolve to have different benefits.
This year there were 4,000 artists who submitted their work for NFT.NYC, which is why we're creating an artist village on the roof of North Javits. And we've invited 1,500 of those artists to actually come and talk to our attendees. And bumped into Anne. Anne, come and say hi to everyone. We've known Anne for a long time. Anne is very, very deep in the art community. I offered Anne the job earlier. She hasn't accepted yet of being the queen of the artist village. Did you say yes? Sign me up. Everyone heard that. Sign me up. Meet the new queen of the artist village, please. Yes.
Okay,
we're going to finish up now.
Yeah, to wrap us up before we hand over to David, just to give you guys on that point about the artist village, to talk a little bit about what to expect this year at NFT.NYC. What we're really trying to do is create focused experiences around the topics that people care about. So today we're really focused on brands and what we're calling the future of Fifth Avenue, and seeing how consumer brands can actually change what they're delivering to their audiences using NFTs. As Jodee mentioned, we have a rooftop artist village where we'll be showcasing over 2,000 different artists' artworks, and we'll be having different brands and galleries also showing in that space. Entertainment speakers will be presenting in space that we're calling the Entertainment Quarter, focused on sports, ticketing, and other types of live entertainment. Later today we'll hear from Pakman from Water Music.
Brilliant.
Finally, the gaming arena.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for being such a great audience today. Pakman, over to you.